Hi, Onni Newman here. I'm working. Welcome to Dark Girl Power. So, I am a Divine Feminine Oracle, and I am here to lead people out of the Matrix programming, especially the other feminines. So that is my specific mission. So I've come on here to bring you channeled messages. Um, yeah, to assist you in your journey. So, what I'm seeing lately is that a lot of people are really suffering being stuck in the matrix, especially women, because what happens with me is I get called into different situations and um I get shown the way that women are suffering specifically in the matrix through um the media, but not only the media, but also like I get taken to certain women who are suffering, not only to see that fact but also to infuse them with my energy. So in the last couple of years I have been working to dismantle all the matrix programs that have been put into me, um and as well as generational patterns, so that I can lead everybody else out. So the only difference between me and you is that I've done it first. Um, and so these patterns are things like scarcity wounds, like struggling with money, struggling with like relationships, just feeling generally unfulfilled, like having you may like have a business but you still feel like there's something really deeply missing in your life, and this is what I'm seeing a lot, um especially like women in the beauty industry lately. Like this is where I'm being called, like hairdressers and nail people, and um but not only that, like also in hospitality, and just seeing like this really deep sadness in women. And this is because the feminine has been suppressed um in the matrix. So everything about us has been shamed and suppressed. Like, so we're in patriarchy, and so that means the masculinity is the dominant paradigm, and it's suppressing the feminine. And this is not about hating men, it's just that this is the paradigm that we're living in under at the moment. It values masculinity over femininity, right? And this has caused so many problems because masculinity and femininity are both incredibly valuable, and we definitely need both of the energies. So in patriarchy, so it's very much focused on being out in the world and doing things and having goals, having strategies and all this stuff, and this is very, very valuable energy. But what it has done is it has undervalued feminine energy, which is pleasure, sexuality, rest, spirituality, inner work, healing. And so because healing especially has been undervalued, um, there's a lot of wounded people walking around, because they don't value healing themselves. They only value like masculine things like money and outward achievements, and I nothing bad about that, nothing bad about that at all. But it's not enough to lead like a really fulfilled life. Like you can have all those things, great. It's fantastic to master the material realm and money and all those things. Fantastic. But if you don't have healing, like if you don't know how to heal, painful things that have happened to you, or shade that gets thrown on you, then you're gonna carry that around, and it's gonna affect you, and it's gonna affect the people around you. Also, like patriarchy is very much suppressed female sexuality, and this is like that is a huge part of our power, because it you know feminine is creative and the creative energy is sexual, right? So you can imagine like what that's done to women if their power source has been suppressed and denied, and they have to work in jobs and systems where their creativity and their power and everything that's really sacred to them is just driven underground. Like, it's going to cause like deep grief, but also it's going to affect the relationship, like intimate relationships, or relationship with men. Like, if a woman isn't able to thrive in her power, then, you know, if there's this imbalanced power dynamic between men and women where men are seen better and women are under them, then that's not going to create equality in relationships. It's, you know, and so that's, then they become unhealthy. Um, and also, another big wound for the feminine is scarcity. Like, because if your creativity is suppressed, that's part of your abundance. So, like, women are meant to make money through their creativity, that's where their abundance is. And if women are forced into jobs to work like men, then, you know, they're going to feel burnt out and unsatisfied. And I know this because I've never been able to do it, like, for any sustained amount of time. Like, I'm so wired to be creative that trying to put me in one of those, like, jobs designed for men, like a 9 to 5 job where you have to be out of home all day, I'm burnt out within a week. And, you know, there's other women that are doing this and they can't get pregnant because it's so stressful on their biochemistry. Um, you know, we're just not designed to work that way. Um, so I'm here to, you know, start a conversation about these things because they're not spoken about. You know, like, women are basically just implicitly told to suck it up. Like, there's not even any language around this. So I want to, you know, start creating language around these things that, you know, because this is one reason why sex has become taboo, and sex is the most beautiful sacred energy, and it's become completely degraded and, you know, driven underground. And, like, you know, women are shamed for being, you know, sexual. Um, and this is so damaging. Um, because that's her power source, her sexuality and her creativity, and it's just been shamed beyond belief. So, you know, we need to start reclaiming that, and everyone's going to do that in their own way. And, you know, for some women, it might be that they want to, like, get up, dressed up really sexy and, like, have photos taken of them and share them. And other women, that would be like, no way in hell, that's not what I want to do. I just want to, like, be more quiet about it and, you know, explore new things with my partner, or just start really accepting it within themselves and actually maybe, like, dress less provocatively because they feel more secure in it. So it's really different for everybody. So it's very important not to judge other women for their sexuality, because that's part of the shaming. So we've got to stop judging ourselves. We've got to stop judging other women. You know, if they want to dress sexy, you know, or however they want to express their sexuality, if they want to be polyamorous or they want to be whatever they want to be, like, as long as it's not hurting you, then you got to accept it. Like, that's maturity. That's accepting that everyone's on a different path. But also, if they want to be celibate or they are celibate, um, you know, because, you know, that energy. it's not just for sexual activity, it's also to create things. Like, women also have that energy to pour into creating art and businesses and beautiful homes, and whatever inspires them. That energy is for that as well, and we're never taught that. All we're taught is it's shameful, and it's an energy that needs to be learnt how to be worked with, because it is very, very powerful. And if we're not careful, if we don't know how to channel this, it can cause huge mental health problems. So I believe every woman needs a creative outlet, um where she doesn't have to be in masculine energy. She doesn't have to be doing things all the time. Like, I feel like she really needs regular time and space to express her creativity in whatever form that is, wherever it's decorating her house, or creating a business, or putting on makeup, or like you know event running events, creating events, like creating. She needs time to be in that feminine energy, or she's gonna feel very, very unhappy. And even if she has to be in masculinity, like most of the time, like maybe she's a single mom working like long hours to put food on the table, but she needs a couple of hours a week to, be in her feminine energy at the very least, to dance, to put on makeup, to be with her girlfriends, to paint or whatever. Like, it is just so, so, so important. Like, imagine a man having to be in girly energy for his whole week. You wouldn't blame him for wanting to go to the pub for a couple of hours with his mates, or go and play sport, or like, he needs to be in his masculine energy. And yeah, we need to be in our feminine energy most of the time. But sometimes our lifestyle doesn't permit it. So this is like the bare minimum. So yeah, I just want to create a dialogue about this, like how the feminine has been suppressed, and we need to reclaim it, not only for our own well-being, but for the well-being of the planet, because the planet needs our feminine healing energy. The planet is hurting. There's wars going on. There's domestic violence. Like, the planet, the feminine energy is the healing energy, and the love energy, and the energy of intimacy and pleasure and fun and relaxation and ease. And if people are working all the time, they're disconnected from their pleasure, they're not having any fun, they've got unhealed wounds. Like, you can imagine, this is why the world is the way that it is. So the feminine energy is so valuable. So what we need to do is we need to start realizing that, reclaiming that, revaluing that, and not putting up with being unequal in relationships. If that means we need to be single for a while, when we need to be single for a while, like, that's not a bad thing. you know you can do a lot of healing when you're single, and become a lot stronger, and find yourself if you've lost yourself. And there's a lot of value in taking time and being single, and it takes strength to be single as well. And but it's a great foundation for being in a relationship, if you can be alone and be fulfilled on yourself, and like, you've healed like a lot of things that you needed to heal, and you can get in touch with your creativity, then you're in a much better place to be with someone else, and then you'll be able to, like, give your partner some of the feminine energy, which is super, super valuable. So yeah, I would love to hear in the comments what you thought of this video, because this is a new channel. I have got a couple of other channels, but I felt like it was important to start a new one for this. I'm going to be bringing you messages of healing, um, and restoration of the feminine. And I do have a restoration of the feminine 30-day challenge coming up. I can put that in the comments. It's like really cheap. It's like $30 or something. 30, 38, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, we'll start that in July. Um but yeah, I'm gonna have like maybe 30 spots, and then that's about all that I want to hold in there. So you've got a couple of weeks. I will put the link down below. um but yeah, I hope that you have found this valuable, because it is valuable and I know it's valuable. And but beyond that, I hope that it helps you to value yourself, if you're not already, at the highest level, because feminine energy is sacred, it is powerful, and that's one reason it has been suppressed, because it is so powerful. And we've got to realize that it's not about one gender dominating or controlling the other one. It's not about power over, it's about power with. So instead of one gender dominating and controlling and suppressing the other one and all this fighting going on, it's about the genders making peace with each other internally. So you're not suppressing your masculine energy or your feminine energy. They both have space and they work together, and that's where the magic happens, both within you and without you. And there's programs out there that are like trying to corrupt the masculine and the feminine coming together, because it is so powerful, and they don't want people to be that powerful, because there's certain systems that want all the power and control, and that's not healthy, that's not loving for society and the planet. So it's time to come back into our power, and I'm here to help you with that. So I hope you've enjoyed this.